Gotta go fix something real quick. Alright, let's see. So, I decided to make this video because Dante put down the popcorn to, yeah. I decided to make this video because there were some people on YouTube talking about all the negativity in this game, and honestly, I don't think I've ever seen it before, honestly. At least not that often. I feel like you would have to go somewhere else, like outside the game, because you know, why bother complaining while inside the game and stuff like that, right? Outside the game is fine. But I also wanted to make this video, while I might not be able to have any good compliments for present day PSO and Genesis, I do have some things I do want to go back through memory lane. Remembering all the positive vibes I did have back in the day. Of course, I'm using this file right here, which honestly, it wouldn't matter. But hey, we'll start off with something like right here.
How are you?
Let's assume this was 1 year ago. Yeah, about precisely 1 year ago from now. And we'll go back to a time where people had no idea how to do armor still. It was still complicated, but when the seasonal event came in, we had our weapons. They weren't this, I guess they were around 60 or something like that. They were around 60 or 40 or something like that. It was your chance to try out different classes. And it was also a time to get some new armors and such. Because that was all nice, right? I think all we really had was Ajax, let's see, Sestato armor and Quad D armor. Yeah, it was just usually these three right here. And then a couple other goodies right here that'd be worth grinding for. For some people, they would actually need all these ingredients right here, even though you could farm them. This one you would actually have to come over here and over here because getting a whole bunch would be a nuisance. These cubes are new. I don't think these cubes were ever useful. The Aegis Souls were always useful. Growth Mint was useful. Dread Scale was useful. This was new, but let's just say it's also using. This was useful. I believe these two were useful. Armor 5 were useful, and I don't think we had customization back in the day. But let's just say a majority of the stuff that was in here was actually useful. I don't think I want to count the what's it called, the LC augments just yet because they'll get their moment. The LC augments will get their moment. I mean, LC augments were useful. It's just how they're implemented. Okay,
Looking forward
that's
to
the
seeing
first
you
thing
again.
that was nice about the game. The seasonal events.
How are
Didn't happen all
you?
the time, but it also allowed people to just enjoy it. Am I up to date? I just realized that. I'm sure I'll be fine. It's not like I'll be fighting or anything like that. Let's see. So seasonal events was the first thing that came to mind when it came to some of the best moments of Phantasy Star. Let's see, what else? Got you the map to find out. We will start in Alio. What was the most hyped thing in Alio? I believe it was... It had to be something that brought everyone together. I think it was... the Ordinal Tower. Yeah. The Ordinal Tower brought people together. It was definitely something that was interesting. Yeah. I can't quite show you what was inside the Ordinal Tower per se because of that involves fighting and well, I am at this level, but I just don't feel like going into it. But it had some rewards. There were people that I actually played with in the Ordinal Tower. That was something nice that the it was great, actually. Really great. Trying the different levels with new people and unlocking the rewards. There were rewards associated with this, right? Let's see. Armor finds. Yeah, the rewards were actually pretty decent. What's this? Stun effect bracelet. What's a stun effect bracelet? Let's see. Oh, the armors were here too. The FS armor. Delta and Sheza. Yeah, the rewards were actually pretty decent, you know, the first time around. So just that alone, it was good. Let's see, so what else was good? I believe fighting the purple monsters, which is the, I forget the name of those gigantics, I guess is what they're called. Fighting them, people would actually get together in massive groups and beat the living crap out of them in mere seconds. It was, man, because they were dropping the rare stuff. And I think it would all happen. Now that place I can go to. Let's see. I want to say here. And I might have footage somewhere about me grinding this, possibly. But for most of the OG players will probably know what I'm talking about. Because anyone who's anyone will remember some of these events. Yes, I remember coming here and fighting these monsters. Now, I don't know about the smaller purple monsters. It was like a so-so type of thing. I mean, we might have roughed them up a few times here and there, but that's about it. I don't think we actually... But I think we did actually try to grind them as they were giving out, like, what was it called? Gigas 4s, I believe? Yeah, Gigas 4 something what they were given. We used to harass them from time to time. Right now, they're kind of a little bit too high on my prey grade right now, so, not worth fighting. But they were definitely, like, bigger versions of those monsters. Colored in purple. We'd fight here, and the boss would probably die in, like, maybe, like, what, 2 to 3 minutes. Because the lobbies would always be full. Like, this was definitely something very hype. Very, very hype. It was a pretty fun thing. Now I gotta get out before the guy shoots me. It's a jump pad fight. You can't camp here. I think that is a float pad. Okay, see, what else was left? What else? And I guess, I've talked about this before in the past, but the Battle of Halfa Lake was probably the most critically important quest in all of Phantasy Star. It was the best, and yet the worst. But we're going to stick on the positive vibes about it because, you see, when it came to the Battle of Halfa Lake, it was the only time in PSO world where people actually worried about your, what your armor was. If it was garbage, people just dropped out. That was it. It was just a reason for people to get their armor up and going, for once. Actually upgrading their armor, actually getting all their skill points, possibly even asking for help in getting social. It was really an important thing. And the rewards weren't too bad. It didn't take too long. I mean, sure, let's see. What took about a month or something, which might sound a bit awful for some people, it wasn't that bad. You could speed it up. It just had to have people that were willing to do about 15-minute fights. And granted, you were giving an actual weapon that was worth something, by the way. You may not have got the exact variant of the weapon, but at least it was... I don't know if the weapon was sellable, though, is the question. Was it sellable? Well, there were two versions. There was a weaker version, then there was a stronger version. I want to say neither of those weapons were sellable, but it was still nice to have. And it was nice that they had the alternate version, just in case. And there were ways to get the weapons, too. 70? Okay. That's how much damage I'm doing right now. I guess I just show a visual image of the weapon, huh? Let's see, so let's head back to here. I can't think of anything relevant in West Alio other than Alio Town blowing up and starting off the whole gameplay and stuff like that. That was, so story relevance, sure. That was about it. But I just wanted to show off the Neo's weapons. I probably don't have it on this file right here at all.
Whoa.
Whoa, what's going on here? Okay. I believe it was called the Aegis Exchange. Ah, yes. These weapons right here. The Neo's weapons. Okay, so they were not tradable in the shop. It had quite a potential to it, too. Not that I could show it off, but the potential was like, what? Maybe 32, between 36 or somewhere in that ballpark. And the Aegis, let's recall, because you would always get a weapon, maybe 1 out of 4 times you would get. So the rarity was quite nice. Yeah, I thought the rarity was already. Honestly, I thought the rarity in that game was just like just perfect, just perfect. Like it got the job done. It was nice. It was relaxing. It was, well, aside from the anxiety of people possibly leaving you mid-fight and then everyone suddenly wanted to dip because what would become a 15-minute fight would end up becoming a 20-minute fight, so you'd be losing like 5 minutes, so that's kind of worrisome, but hey, you know, as long as people were actually caring about their armor back then. Which reminds me, that little thing called Battle Power, that was funny. That was very funny. I remember people complaining about, now I do remember YouTubers talking about Battle Power to some extent.
Oh, good to
And
see
people I've
ya.
talked to in the past have talked about Battle Power, like, it's not high enough. But honestly, I think Battle Power was a critically important thing to have. Yes, it was upsetting that it locked you out of certain things. And let's just hypothetically say where your Battle Power was so low you couldn't even handle limited time quests, which I think was the absolute most important thing to that you didn't want to be locked out of. But hey, it happens sometimes, and I want to say Lucille was new, but we're gonna say Lucille for later. We're gonna say. Okay, so let's see. I think that covers all of Alio. Of course, the grind spots were I think this was the best grind spot compared to Resol Forest, even though Resol Forest was harmless, and the Mount Madness really wasn't the best spot. Really, it was just jumping up and down. Central Alio was just for the fight the Gigantics. I'm not really okay, actually I do know it. North Alio was just for fighting those unique Gigantics, I would say, and people were getting together and beating the crap out of them. West Alio, story, plot relevance, and I guess, oh, look at that. This was a, so I guess this was the best part about, West Alio, the Ordinal Tower, and its levels and stuff. So what does that leave South Alio with? I don't think it leaves it with anything, but you know, not everyone can have everything they want. Cause look, even Riso Forest had nothing, and Mount Max didn't have anything. So I guess that takes care of that. That was all the positive things I could mention into the Alio region. So let's go to Retem region. Oop, wrong button. Because a lot of it just came down to seasonal events and the willingness to actually do the seasonal events. I mean, giant bosses, getting stuff that was difficult to get, and I get it. Seasonal events were just there to help you get the more difficult augments and stuff like that. That's kind of what it was for. Sure, you could get them doing normal gameplay, it would just take longer. But seasonal events, that was your time to, you know, more convinced to come back and such. Let's see. Okay, so what did they have? Anything memorable? Alright, well, we've seen the jokes online, and Retem Elnok was always known as the best farming spot in the entire game. For a time. A year ago it was. It was considered the best one. Everyone went there, everyone grinded. It's just, you could always find people there. Always. No exception. It was the best place to farm. There were memes about it, about how good it was. It was just a nice, not too high level platform. It was like some, not so height focused like on Vanford. And everything was just jumpable and stuff. Within reach. Great place. I unfortunately don't have anything good to say about the McKee lower levels as but outside of it, the Road McQueen, that had something useful. It had the Gigantics, I believe, the second coming of the Gigantics that were showing up, which ultimately led to here. And if it wasn't a year ago when I was talking about, please forgive me, I'm just trying to highlight all of the positive things the game's done in the past. Like, this was fun. Getting a group together, or hell, just showing up and being a massive group of people fighting these things over and over and over again. And to the point where, well, this boss stopped being relevant, I would say. Like, actually, why was that the case? Because in the beginning, we were fighting the monsters, the indication would come up, everyone would come over here, fight this boss, and get a possibly rare weapon or something like that. Even though all the bosses were dropping, including him, were dropping the scales, it just happened to be, a little faster to just take care of the smaller mobs back and forth, while dodging the, malevolence, that's what they're called, yeah. This, the small little malevolent, the mini malevolent villains. So it was probably a 7 out of 10. Because not all the mechanics worked too well. Like I said, they could have made it a bit more guaranteed, really. And I know that sounds a little cheesy to make stuff anything guaranteed or a 1 out of 5 chance, but you have to give a reason. And maybe I have to actually getting the weapon, because it all did come down to rare drop rate and stuff like that. Lots of stuff is dropping. Okay, let's see what else. Let's see. Where's that dirt tire? The Trininess. Yeah. This was important. I remember coming here a couple of times and probably trying to farm the Gigas again. Just a new location to farm Gigas. Augments. Precision, might, and technique. That's probably what I did a lot. Let's see. I want to say around here. These things were probably pretty relevant for the sake of doing whatchamacallit. Seasonal events. People would just run up and down these little down these pathways, fighting certain bosses and getting a season. But it was a seasonal related one. I mean, they could appear anywhere. They appeared in all sorts of places. I mean, I guess the seasonal event just made it better. That's what it did. I guess I want to throw this one in here because this was one of the few places, and every place I want to say has this. Like Alio had a spot where you could just farm alpha reactors here, and this place also had alpha reactors. So I did come here frequently. It might have been the most irritating of the alpha reactor collecting, but it was still a place. So there's that. Is that everything? I can't think of anything nice to say here other than seasonal events affecting both these spots. Central Alio. I mean, I guess there were the reintroduction of those malevolents that showed up here. The newer ones. The starless ones, I want to say. I guess there was South Alio, probably seasonal related, so same thing. And I would have to say, this is possibly the best situation right here. It might not have been the best, but what we did here in Road McQueen was like the best case scenario. Everyone got together and fought, and we optimized it, you know, and it happens. Things get optimized, and then you realize that this is the way to do it, and you follow the pack, and then you get rewarded. Plain and simple. We didn't need this. It was nice to have, but I guess the reward had to truly outshine beating the crap of monsters under a minute. Or about a minute. It was about a minute. And we're dying that fast, but fast enough for you to realize that this is a better option than fighting a boss that could last about 5 minutes. And I already talked about Road McQueen being a good place to go to. You'll probably still see people there, honestly. And I guess I have time on this chart. Let's just see if there's anyone there. Oh no, battle power isn't high enough. Is there a way I can just teleport and find out? Oh wait, I can do this. Let's see. No. Come on. So let's go to room. Ah, yeah, see, there's like at least 2 people there. 2 random people I'll probably never find in the West Central. But rank 4. Wait, that's the one I can't go into, I think. Oh, that's right. Okay. That just reminded me of something. Let's see. People would go to the 4 one instead of the 5 one because, well, the monsters died a little bit faster. So, there's that. I almost forgot about the Retim's little, drawback. But other than that, it was a nicely designed, season. So, let's see. Let's go to the next one. This one might be a little bit more complicated because it's been a while since I've even messed around with Caveras. Wow, I probably should have mentioned the boss of Retim, which was Dark False Souls. Oh, and then there was the defense mission, which some people might get annoyed by, but it was also another place where people would play that too. The defense missions where you could find out in mere seconds if the mission was going to go bad. It was a mission you could actually fail. That's another thing. Let me hit this one more time, actually. Let's see. Where would it take place in? I guess the defense missions would take somewhere near, like, near Retim Aldo. You would just kind of... Everyone would divide and defend their places. Like maybe 1 or 2. Actually, let's see. You got 8 players in all. There are 3 of those reactor thingies. So you've got like 2 people on each core defending him, and then you had the last 2 people, just your runners that would just go and take care of the forces up front. And you would just hold stuff down and defend your tower, adding defenses and mechanics and stuff like that. And that wasn't I mean, I like that, you know? Just the fact you could fail, the fact you had to get your act together. And I do have videos of that, too. The moment the new weapon was announced, even if we never got it, it was just something to get people together. It was like, well, it's a chance to get a new weapon, so might as well try it. I mean, it'd have been great if we actually got it. At a high chance. I mean, no chances should be nowhere in the single digits, by the way. Nothing. Okay, so I'll hit this later if I can think of anything else, but I think I hit everything. I already mentioned Darkfall Souls being a nice boss addition, but yeah. I'm not even gonna. Okay, so let's see. What did this have to offer? So, one of my most treasured moments when it came to coming to the Kavaros region were the armors, I want to say. No, was it the armors? I mean, I guess that is important. There was the free armor you could find in the now I can't remember the exact coordinates of these free armors, but like I said, a lot of the OG players will probably remember like where you found free armor. It was just like nicely upgraded, not fully upgraded, but just some armor to slap on yourself, which was probably possibly stronger than what you already had. Let's see, can I even find that armor? Let's see, can I find the armor? I have to think about what tier this armor was. Let's see, let's go on storage. What did the armor look like? I don't want to say Eptide armor because the Eptide armor was a very common seasonal armor. I want to say it was this, honestly. I want to. So the one in the Ordinal Tower I think wasn't even upgraded at all, so oops. That was a slight miss detail. Okay, I don't think I had it at all. You'll have to take my word for it. Let's see. So, what else did this thing have going for it? Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. The Gorge. The Gorge was essentially the highlight of this spot right here. Very interesting spot. Let's see. Can I even show this off without dying is the problem. I would need an item in order to show it off. I'm sure I have an item somewhere. Or if I can purchase one. Let's see. Well, I guess the Gorge has features now, right? Yes, I think it does. There was this chick right here.
Bye-bye.
No, not you? Okay, maybe it was you.
Hi.
Oh, looks like I haven't.
Bye.
Well, what do we have here?
I was thinking that she would give me the stuff that I need, but I guess that's
Another
on
time.
a different file basis. Okay. Okay, sure, I don't mind dying for a video, and maybe I won't die. I have 10 heals. I do want to show it off. To some extent. Am I going the right direction? I am. Okay. Because the Gorge was important. It was an important thing that one of my friends tried to do. Now, I didn't do it right away. I did it a little bit later on, I believe. I think I was stuck on a weapon. Might have been stuck on the Neos weapon for a long time, is why I didn't do it right away. And ultimately, I think we all came through here and fought some boss in the egg and stuff like that, and people would just be AFKing, which is something which was fine back then, because, you know, it was active AFK, because, well, it would last an hour, and then you had to reapply it, and I think the boss would respawn maybe every 5 to 15 minutes, maybe? I'm sure it was every 5 minutes. It makes it seem like a lot. Then you reset the boss again. And it just be bosses that you've already fought before already. So you already know the pattern down in pack, except it was just ice related. And with the ice meaning that could just still kill you or still freeze you and stuff and just be stun locked. Because ice was always the worst stat. It always was. Let's see. I would say the introduction of the final boss being somewhere here too. Zepeto. Yeah. Zepeto's boss fight proved that you can have a fun boss fight in one phase. I mean, yeah, you had a second phase, but it was just a nice boss fight, really nice. You know, you weren't safe anywhere. He could hit you from anywhere he wanted to, and people still get killed by him. And a relatively easy boss fight. But still stuff to some extent. If you're running a class you don't usually run, you might get you. I guess the cannonball strikes were an interesting feature. Oh, right, that's right. The throwing mechanic, I think, was introduced in this season. Well, in this region, where you get to throw, whatchamacallit. You threw these little ice balls, and they do a lot of damage. And the cannonball was just, essentially the same thing. To, like, gain points or something like that. But the introduction of the throwing mechanic was alright. I'm gonna ignore the snowboarding thing because, well, the easy fix to the snowboard is just making it faster, in all honesty. But that would change everything, but, a faster snowboard wouldn't be so bad. We're talking about double speed. That'd be great. And let's see, did I even mess? I guess both of the, combat zones were okay to mess with. Like, you found an even distribution of both this combat zone and this combat zone. An even distribution, as far as I'm concerned. Even if this one had a very wonky, whatchamacallit, trial when it comes to chasing a spaceship and stuff like that. It was fine. It was totally fine. Because there was usually people there to help you break that thing, and it guaranteed a PSE burst. That's what kind of made it worth it. It was your guaranteed PSE burst. You saw it, you knew you were getting PSE burst. I mean, the mechanics could have been done a bit better and stuff like that. They could have just made it to where you could hit all of them at once instead of a delay, or anyone in you choosing, you know, that sort of thing. But this was very unique to the region, so we never really saw this. You would, funny enough, see that little flying trial in other places too. Let's see, what else? I can't think of anything noteworthy in Central Kavaris, per se. I might have done my own type of grinding when it came to the someone else's like repeatable missions. No, Kavaris, not so much. I just remember fighting a boss near the coast of this area. Probably the most noteworthy thing. And the Gigantics. But we didn't fight too much of them, and when we did fight the Gigantics, there weren't really a big crowd of people, so I probably won't count those. I believe it was just the combat zones and the Ryo Gorge were the best parts of this region, really. And then the hidden armor that was here. That was probably the best parts. Like, I want to say more, and I didn't mention Zepeto being a new added boss here. I don't know if I did the defense mission here, but I must have not really cared for it, honestly. So those were all the positive things I can mention about Kavaris. Okay. And now we have the last region. Okay, now for present day. Well, not present day, but we're still in the past. Still, pretend we're in the past. And I don't mind walking here because this was a little bit different. Stia was such an incredible journey. I don't even mind going on foot this time compared to the other times. I mean, I'm really sorry I couldn't stomach doing Ryle Gorge in person because they did add some changes to it. But we have the beach. What are those things? Let's see what else. There were times where we were all just the weather. Yeah, the weather was the most interesting thing about this region, and there were people that did take the time to fight the malevolence here, which I'm gonna actually encounter one. Now I can't go back to town because there's one blocking my path now. Good thing I can teleport. Alright, the drill dozer. I think I'll just ignore him. Oh, okay, actually, I don't have to ignore the drill dozer. Drill dozer was a very interesting boss fight. It was very theatrical. Let's see. So aside from finding the gigantic, because that was something that people actually did. Let's see. New weapons were included. Oh, okay. Actually, I remember now. I remember doing this a whole bunch. It was the free armor. This was the most critically important thing to me. Now, as a veteran player, the free armor shouldn't be that important to me at all, but, you know, before the seasonal events and stuff like that, or maybe after, let's just say it's before the seasonal events, just for the sake of saying it. There was taking new players who decided to be my friends, or those who did the research, that is, would hit this seasonal get this free armor. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see it. You're going to have to take my own videos in order to find out what I'm talking about. But the supposed armor would be around here somewhere, and you have to detect them too. You have to use your mag. Your mag will react. You have to take care of these little protected boxes and stuff. Was it the first time I dealt with them? I think this was the first time I've dealt with protected boxes. You had to go around, use your eyes, use your ears, pop of the box, and get a pretty decent armor. And it might have been in the Ephesus armor, for all I know. Okay, I gotta go to all. I want to say it was this armor right here. But it was actually, it had like 4 slots to it. And maybe between 40 and 60, I want to say. I did a lot of this in my Alliance Nonsense videos, where a new player was introduced, they finally get to this location, and they were essentially told to come here. And guided, by the way. I always guided most of them here, getting to this point. And of course, all this stuff was made possible before the free armor, by the way. This was just to get an early boost, even though playing the story mode wouldn't be enough to get you up there. And I do vividly remember the spots. Now, is there anything else I can get to while I'm here? I want to say, honestly, back in the day, everything was great about the Stia, honestly. Everything was good about Stia. Where was... I guess the last known addition of the skill points was also included in Stia. I was going to mention skill points here, but this being the last notable one was the important addition. That was something that everyone did. Okay, where is it at? Now I'm getting lost. I think this is the one. Yeah. Surizen Plant. While there were a few enemies, there were also... It was filled with boss tier enemies. A lot of boss tier enemies. And you actually see people here. And there was rare armor to get. This place was pretty damn important, actually. Oh good, he has a beam on me. So this was a nice place, really. I mean, people actually came here and took care of those that recon squad down there. And you did have to have your axe together because they did hit hard. They would usually 2-to-1 shot you if you weren't careful. I mean, they were all broken up in like categories, so you know. Let's see, can I remember what the armor was? Who am I kidding? Of course I can. It was somewhere around this ballpark. And then I have my alliance members just use their little indicator or something like that. Oh, sort of like that, but I know I've gotten it already, so I'm not too surprised by it. It's probably ringing up because this is also a place. Every region had a place to farm, like some sort of collectible that you could just sell off the bat. Let's see. So aside from the bosses that were here, why did I fight the regular bosses? I know I fought the Gigas. It might have been for the Dread Keepers. I think I've even tolerated the other bosses because of Dread Keepers. And maybe Alliance-related stuff. Possibly. That might have been the main reason. Let's see. It's funny how Dex Space was sort of like a so-so type of thing, and then ended up being the still most relevant place in present-day PSO. Because it was finally realized that, hey, Dex Space has more rewards compared to Alno. It had the glory of outclassing Ritem Alno. Forever. Now people just come here nowadays. I don't know if they go to the higher ranks, though. Let's see, that was definitely something interesting. Let's see. There's one more place. I'm going to show the last location of where that third armor will be at. I guess there were some new additions to this place that might catch me off guard, but I won't hit though. I'm gonna try to focus on the content that I know a good amount of or have actually done. Like the new sections of Stia, I haven't actually touched. I took a massive break from Phantasy Star from that point. But I guess going back to Membrane Lane is always funny. Looking for something positive in Phantasy Star. And while it's true, it was, even though rants and stuff were my favorite type of brain rot, yes, I would call some rants being on the brain rot level, but you already knew it was bad, and you already had your opinion about it. You just wanted to just hear everyone else's take on it, on the same take. It would be somewhere around here, yeah. And then you have to carefully navigate around this mountain, looking for those invisible protecting thingies so you can unlock the chest, and then get the final piece of the armor. Granted, these armors were in different colors, so it wasn't that beneficial, because they all specialize in something. Unless, of course, you were all a Randler, which, well, even in present day, that's not something realistic to do. You know, before the free armor showed up. Alright, can't interact with these things. Let's see. Oh, that is a new thingy. I can make that jump from here. Let's see. How troublesome would it be? out there. I guess we'll take a look at the content that I missed. But missed content is missed content. Oh boy, 95. That's a boss. This wasn't a combat though, was it? I could end up getting sniped here and killed. To think I chose to miss this. I wonder what it was like. I wonder if anyone still has their videos about this sort of thing. Oh wait, no, I did this content before. This right here is where a boss would show up. And apparently it's a reused boss, I believe. I think I only did it like once or twice, really. It might not have been the best payout. And I guess the introduction of the Blazium, Infernium, or something like that was nice. I might have to go back to the shop and show off some of the rewards too. Because honestly, let's see. I want to say everything about Steel was great, but hey, things get outclassed, you know. Except for deck space. That's the only thing that didn't get outclassed. Yeah, everything, all the content has simply been outclassed. Even the whatchamacallit, the urgent quests have been outclassed. But back in the day, Steel was the best thing about VSO. The introduction of the last set of skill points. Yeah, Durzen plant. Another part to the story, I suppose, too. Let's see. We should probably get some, that everything? Oh wow, rocket up here, up there. Alright, we should probably hit the, whatchamacallit. We should hit the honorable mentions. We'll head back to Halo to hit the honorable mentions. And the honorable mention might include something that's, you know, in present day, I suppose. Just to give a little bit of hope. Or at least as present as I can bring it to. I mean, once tomorrow passes, everything will be in the past, but closest to present as presently possible. But still in the past. Because I'm trying so hard not to, mention the bad stuff of Phantasy Star. Just need positive vibes, and, or at least, hopefully you've had some positive memories. I mean, I have done this game for about 2,000 hours. There had to be something about the game. I would just take the easy route and just mention the alliance I had back in the day. Or the alliances I was, well, okay, mostly the alliances that I made, not the alliances that I was a part of. Just the alliances that I conducted and all the effort that I put into it. Essentially. Actually, I should be, whatchamacallit, someone should be hitting me with an alliance invite by now. Okay. Alright, let's see, just honorable mentions. Kind of forgot that I mentioned this soon. Didn't mention,
How are you?
I should have saved her for honorable mentions, really. Cause that's a girl you see everywhere. We'll have to go here for honorable mentions.
Hi.
Let's see. Lucille would probably be the... Should I mention the dual quest? Let's go ignore that. Okay, the exploration. When that was introduced, and the LC augment introduced. That was a great, and the new, and my favorite weapon, the Veshmils. That was a great comeback for the game. It was really, really nice, and that was a thing. I would ask for more content for like that. And I think it got upgraded to where it's giving higher tier. I think it's probably giving higher tier LC augments now. I think it is a whole lot of investing into the old ones, and which should be easy if you were doing it enough times. More than likely, you already have the necessary stuff to get it. To get the higher tier LC augments. So it shouldn't be too bad. Oh, and I guess people knowing what they're doing too. Another quest that you could possibly lose if somebody is not picking up the slack and stuff. Let's see. One moment, please. Alright, I can hear myself now. Okay, let's see. So, the Lucille was a great addition to the game. It might have been introduced years ago, but it was definitely something that's worth mentioning. I'm not sure how much more they can make it better. I mean, I guess it'd be really cheeky if they made yet another tier of Veshmil weapons. Of course, the Veshmil weapons, for better or for worse, had their issues. Completely changing your, how you augmented stuff, which we had to be real here. A lot of the weapons were unique. And there was no guarantee that this uniqueness would be replicated again down the line. Which is why I kept my Veshmil for as long as I did. Like, I didn't want to change weapons, honestly. I just didn't want to. Let's see. Nameless City. I actually did do a few Nameless Cities, and, while I haven't really been into a room, I might have hit one time where there was a bunch of people there, but, it's nice. You just do a bunch of stuff and collecting and fighting for like 14 or so minutes or something like that, and then you got popped out of it or something like that. It was just a very frantic part of the city. So, this person got chubby legs. Okay, let's see. I don't really have any. I guess the limited quest really didn't have any problems to me. I mean, it was just my fault for doing the limited quest too many times, really. Like, I think this is where I got my burnout from. But other than that, the limited time quest was definitely, I mean, I got the job done. I mean, they always tease you with this, the chance of getting the, super rare weapon, which you had to ultimately sell off if you just happened to get it, not the one you wanted.
Jump by any time.
Alright. I believe I have hit every single possible thing positive, in my opinion, in this game. You know the Alliance thingy was a net positive. Alright, let's see. Let's check these guys' arms real quick. Oh boy. All fives. That's brutal. I believe that was a free one. Alright, well, I would like to think that Pope person is probably the top dog. The top dog compared to these two. Let's go ahead and change the display real quick. How do I change my display? Let's see. Damn, how do I do that? Wrong button. Wow, let's see. I think it was this. Okay, here we go. Alright, well, an officer, it would make sense for an officer to have this type of power. And say better. Alright, I guess the story is fine the way it is, I suppose. Alright, let's see. Is there anything to say about present-day PSO? Anything positive about present-day PSO? I think I've already mentioned how this is still relevant if I want to make some money. There's the daily grind I could do when it comes to collecting the alpha reactors. They're called fragments something. Sparkling fragments. The snow. Oh, I guess Central Kavars does have some. It has a snow in it. And then more alpha reactors somewhere in the Durzen plant. And that's about it, really. I mean, sure, they introduced some stuff like the card master, but not my cup of tea. But alright, I gotta switch files in order to show off one last thingy. Like, kinda early to... Well, actually, let's see. I can probably just really fast. I can do it here, let's see. There we go. I want to join and the short version is that what is it called? The creative space is probably the last good, decent thing I can think of that's still relevant now in PSO. Not one reaction. Usually that would happen instantly. And I guess this chick right too, she had some relevant stuff. Maybe I'm in the wrong spot. Oh boy, oh boy. This group looks like they would take me instantly. Well, even if it's for a second, even if it's for a second, even for a second. I wonder how many people are actually awake here. What is this person right here? I gotta remember I gotta talk to a whatchamacallit. Welcome to join us, but no troublemakers. Okay, they just... Nah, hold on a second. Flesh, in your main menu, communications, you'll search to recruit as an options. Okay. Come on, I just want to type and say thank you. I forgot my name is called Flesh for some reason, I don't know why. And now it says FightNoid. Ugh. It'll be alright, it'll be alright. I just want to show off the last decent thing the game is offering. I just need to join to a random alliance. Let's see. No, that's not it. Create space. There's two of them. Alright, I don't know how detailed this one is, but we'll find out, won't we? Oh yeah, it was a part of another alliance, but it happens sometimes. Damn this name. I'm just gonna end it here before I say anything nasty. That's like a pretty big drop. I didn't really need anything from him, but that's really nice. Alright, they got stairs. They have, I guess they're deciding about which one to use, so, alright. Still deciding, still deciding, still deciding, still deciding. What is this? A hard hat. Okay, a pool. I guess if I was in this place, I would probably jump from the pool from this direction, so, pretty neat. And if it doesn't look incomplete, looks nice. That's what we have. It just makes me worried about jumping down. But this is really high up. Well, the feel is important. The feeling of I'll drop down and it won't end pretty for me is definitely something important to have. But say I'm a little bit okay, I think this is shallow water. I think it is. How shallow is this water? I mean, it's better than what I had before. We all have to start somewhere. Okay, still in construction. Okay. Understandable. It looked like it was under construction, but it's, the beginning was nice. Very, very nice. It's just a lot easier to show off what I was going to, what someone else did as opposed to, and we know joining an alliance would just be an instant thing. Just instant. Funny enough, they also gave me a statement too, like, don't cause no trouble. Like, that's a very interesting statement. Usually, you just be added immediately, without a second thought. But those guys actually had some sort of standards or something like that. That's pretty neat. Like, that's funny. I guess that guy who added me was the leader. Alright, how far is this drop? Alright. Well, I think I'm stuck. So, that's all I have, please. Oh, wait. They have something. Alright, cool. Alright, well, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely share your thoughts, too. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's events that you did and I didn't. Right? Sure, there's some good points you have from the past. Or even better, if you have some good points from the present day. But this was the best I could do when it comes to positivity, people. The absolute best. They say there's too much complaining and complaining, 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 complaining. Oh, I just had to get that out of my chest because it was so hard not to mention that so much. Heck, I think just saying complaining by itself is just an exercise. Like, just go ahead and say complain 100 times, then make your Fantasy Star video, right? Just go ahead and say it like 100 times. That way you won't even have to complain at all. Just to say it. Complaining, 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 complaining. Okay, now I feel like making a Fantasy Star video now. Without any complaining. Because I can't even stand the word complaining. I guess it's also criticized, but complaining is rolls off the tongue better. Bye.